guys, welcome back. This is HD, and it's time for game number 2 between Socke and Sen in the HD World Tournament. This is a best of 5 series, and the winner of this entire series gets paid out $250 of prize pool money. The loser of this series does not get a dime, and so far Sen has taken a 1-0 commanding lead over his opponent Socke. Socke in the last game kind of not really playing up to, they both played very, very well, I have to say. But unfortunately, Sen just playing a little bit better and able to eke out that victory on Crevasse. And now it looks like Socke has decided to play on Tal'Darim Altar, which is an even bigger map in my opinion. This is probably the biggest map in the entire HD World Tournament map pool. And I can only think of one reason why Socke would pick this map. I think he wants to play another macro game. And indeed, he is going up for a quick pylon at his natural. And we'll see if that's for a Forge or for a Nexus to start things off. But I also want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors for this tournament. It is IGN and Justin TV. If you guys don't know who IGN is, then you guys have been living under a rock or in a cave or on a mountain somewhere. Check them out, IGN.com. Justin TV, a very popular streaming website for StarCraft 2 videos. I know most casters and streamers now opting to use Justin TV. It is justin.tv, so check them out. And give good shout outs to the guys who have been sponsoring the money for this tournament. Without them, it would not have been possible. And of course, shout out to all you viewers out there. Without you guys, this would not be possible either. Looks like the probe here gets a little bit feisty with the drones and even doing some good work here, which, you know, pulling drones off the line to attack a probe is not very efficient. Drones are supposed to be mining 24/7. It is not their duty to be fighting off units. So when you force your opponent to pull drones like that, that's really nice for a Protoss player. And even stealing 5 minerals as well. So that probe is a complete gangster. He's got 5 on it, and he's still gonna stick around inside Sen's main for now. And interestingly to note, Sen has not decided to go for an early hatchery. He's opening up with spawning pool here, and Socke has thrown down the Nexus before the Forge. So Socke here is going for a Nexus first strategy, and this is gonna be kind of risky I have to feel, because typically you want to open Forge first when your opponent is going for a one base strategy, because now there's 4 Zerglings out on the map, and if Sen is really quick about it, he may be able to get these Zerglings in before the photon cannons get up, and that could be really bad. Sen here has to get a gateway here, and he's got to block this off right now. The Zerglings, though, oh man, the Zerglings are actually splitting apart, and Sen here, making great use of his gangster probe, is pulling 2 Zerglings away, and he's going to sacrifice his probe just to keep the Zerglings back inside the main, and as a result, only 1 Zergling reaches the front door. So this is going to work out beautifully for Socke, and the cannon coming up, which is going to prevent the Zergling from even running inside to do the scouting. That is rough. And Sen, I think Sen had an opportunity there. He could have produced a ton of Zerglings off of his one base, and he might have been able to stream inside the main of Socke, but as it stands now, Socke has an early expansion. Sen has no early hatchery. Sen is really playing a base behind right now, and this is going to be pretty bad, I think, for Sen, unless he grabs a quick third, which it looks like he might be gearing up to do here. This drone is going around, and I think it's going to hook over to this 12 o'clock location, and it is going to plant itself to become a hatchery. So wow, Sen is going to play macro. He's going to fight macro with macro. He's going to get another hatchery up as soon as he gets the minerals, and he does have enough. There we go. So Sen here thinking about going for the very late game. He wants to get all the bases up and running. He wants all 12 cylinders fully pumping out all the gas he needs and all the horsepower he needs to win this game. And we'll see how that plays out. Socke, meanwhile, he has not revealed his strategy yet. He is still on one gateway, in fact, and he has not decided to throw out any buildings to indicate what route he wants to go with. He does have a lot of gas, though. He's getting his 3rd assimilator now fully saturated. If he decides to get a 4th assimilator up, he may go for a heavy gas build like Stargate, or he may just go for a lot of sentries right now. I'm not quite sure what his strategy is. He's still on one base, or one gateway, excuse me, and he is getting +1 weapons as well. So we'll see what he's cooking up in a couple of minutes. Sen, meanwhile, getting a ton of economy right now. 40 drones over 34. We also have a little bit of dancing out in the middle of the map with these Zerglings here, which are trying to pick off the Stalker. This lone Stalker actually moving out to do scouting right now, and it's going to check the third expansion first. This is typically where most Zerg players like to expand to because it is safe, but with the rocks still there, I think Socke is going to be very smart. He's going to immediately move over to the 12th location, and he's going to see the hatchery. Yes, he does. So this is pretty big scouting here because Socke now knows that the Zerg player is not going to commit to any kind of all-in off of 2 bases. He knows that the Zerg player is going to play a macro game, so he knows back at home just to continue pumping the probes out or to make some kind of an early attack move out with his warp gates. And in fact, he does have 3 warp gates on the way right now, so it is very well possible that Socke may decide to move out with a pretty large army. In fact, he does have +1 weapons coming, as you guys all note here, and a good timing window here would be to push out with a very large ground force as soon as +1 weapons finishes, and that could do some serious damage to the Zerg, which the trees are actually wilting here. Cool little graphic there if you guys never noticed that when the creep touches the trees, they do start to wilt away and they die out. But Sen here is, I think he may be in a bit of trouble because he's playing a super macro game here. He's already got 55 drones, but he's got to be careful if the Protoss player decides to make a push out. In fact, he has so many warp gates right now, Socke does. He has 6 warp gates and a robotics. Oh no, that's a 7th warp gate. No, there's a robotics facility. So 6 warp gates plus a robo bay. We may be seeing a timing push here. In fact, Socke may wait for +1 armor before he pushes out. A 1-1 weapons, one armor, 1 weapons push could do some serious damage to the Zerg player. But Sen already has a ton of Zerglings coming out right now. And in fact, he does have Roachworn on the way as well. So we'll see what happens, guys. He is just playing a very macro game right now. He's got tons of hatcheries up. He's got an extra hatchery at his natural expansion as well, and good job on the creep spread as well. This is one thing that Zerg players always need to focus on, that creep spread, especially spreading it over to this 12 o'clock location so you can create that kind of a fast express highway to be able to defend between the hatcheries if necessary. And also one thing that Sen is doing very well right now is keeping his Zerglings mobile. He's really doing a good job of moving them around the map and scouting locations and whatnot. And in fact, wow, a cybernetics core actually getting killed right there, but that was not killed by the Zerg player. That was actually killed by the Protoss player. As Socke right now feels like he needs to move out and secure a 3rd expansion. He is now going to take out the rocks right here, and no doubt he does have an extra cybernetics core up somewhere. Yeah, there we go. So he has a very large ground army of stalkers, sentries, and no doubt we're going to be seeing some immortals coming out of that robotics facility soon as well. But I think Socke here is thinking about making that push happen. His 1 armor just now finishing. Sen also thinking about making a counter here, moving in with all of his lings and roaches, forcing the force fields to come out, blocking off the attack routes for the Zerglings and the roaches. Zerglings and roaches trying to find a better route to get into those stalkers, and a lot of the sentries have actually been picked off. Socke here could lose the majority of all of his stalkers and is going to be forced right back into his natural, and that is bad news. Oh wow, Sen making a beautiful play here and is making 48 Zerglings right now, so he is going all in. He's going to try to break the Protoss front door right now, and this is bad news for Socke, killing off his own cybernetics core, allowing this little gap right here for the Zerglings and roaches to come in. And hello, we have a march of Zerglings coming over from the Zerg hatcheries, and they are just going to have a free entrance into the Protoss natural and main. And Socke here, I think, is going to lose everything. What a way to start this series. He's going to go down 2 games, and this is going to be a 2-0 lead for Sen. And that has got to be good for confidence moving into game number 3. Socke calls GG, and all the probes, everything just getting ransacked by the Zerg player. Brilliant play right there by Sen. I have to say, I was not expecting such a large amassment of Zerglings to counter that warp gate push, but Sen did it quite. He executed that quite beautifully. And in fact, there's this one tab that I've been wanting to show you guys that I know a lot of people have been wanting me to show. It is Control R, which shows the units killed and the workers killed, and it looks like Sen this game only killed 2 workers. So that's one tab that I'll try to show a little bit more. I've been reading a lot of the comments out there. You guys have been wanting me to show workers killed, so this tab I will be showing for the rest of this series from game to game. But brilliant play by by Sen, excuse me, and Socke actually losing this game is now going to move on to a game 3 between these two players, and cannot wait to see what happens in game 3. So stay tuned, guys. HD is signing out.